And I want to draw an analogy here. Okay, so this is something that we did. Armin knows this. I know this. Like, when we started writing about Islam, like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, whenever we did, and being critical about it, we also eventually started getting a lot of support from a lot of right-wing anti-Muslim bigots, like people who had a problem with Muslims and who were concerned about Muslim immigration, who thought that all Muslims, okay, well, if you're a Muslim, then you're subscribing to it. Even if they didn't really look at it as that, that people could sometimes just be born in Muslim families and there's an identity aspect to it. They wouldn't look at it that way. So they were genuine anti-Muslim bigots. And there were times when I wanted to shake off that element, right? Because they were hijacking. I remember the one thing that I wrote about a long time ago was I was talking about the difference between criticizing ideas and demonizing people. And I said something like about smoking. I said smoking may be a filthy habit, but that doesn't mean that all smokers are filthy people. And I said this to illustrate the whole idea that you shouldn't demonize Muslims. And then I heard that, like, years later, right? And this is something that I think Majid Nawaz also quoted me on in Islam: The Future of Tolerance. Now, a few years after that, this Tommy Robinson says the same thing. He goes up there and he tweets us, smoking and smoking. And I was looking at this, I was like, Jesus.
Tommy Robinson stole your quote?
He stole my quote. Yeah. So he wrote that. He's like, smoking isn't. So, so I looked at it and I thought,
Laurentian stole my quote.
Huh?
Laurentian stole my quote as well.
Yeah, that's happened. By the way, we've had loads of quotes stolen. A lot of times I'd let it go because the people who are stealing it are good and I like them. And many times they do credit you. But in this case, what happened was that this was a guy who I completely disagreed with. And I know a lot of people, a lot of people do like him and everything. I don't agree with him on it. And that's not the kind of thing that I wanted. So I think the same thing that's happening, what Armin's talking about, right, is that there is a legitimate criticism of the woke, and I'm not going to call it the woke left for the same reasons Armin talked about. I think left is a different thing, just fundamentally different values. And now there are loads of people who are kind of piling on who genuinely do hate. I mean, they don't just have a problem with a legitimate debate about whether trans athletes should be able to compete against their biological non-counterparts, right? It's not about that. They genuinely hate the idea that anybody should be trans or anybody should be gay or anybody should be any of these different identities.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of one that if we open, I'm going to be able to talk about it for 1 hour.
Hey guys, if you want to join these streams live, get your comments and questions read by Ali and Armin and the guests, and most importantly, to get full access to the full video versions of all these episodes, become a patron. Link in the description below.